What they did to your family, you're lucky to make it out alive.
Streaming on Peacock.
These men are going to come after me. Taking them out is my only chance.
Put a bullet in her head.
From the co-creator of Ozark.
Looks like a family was running drugs.
Execution-style killing, it's rare for the Keys. And it leads on who they might have been running for.
The cartel killed my family. I'm gonna kill them. All of them.
MIA. Streaming now. Only on Peacock.
Welcome back to Connect with Jonathan Mark. It has been such an interesting time. I've been a little quiet and I've been, continuing to help people with cases and bringing them on the show. But a lot of exciting things have been happening and I can't wait to share. Obviously, people want to know and I wish I can tell you right now, but I can't. So just please bear with me. There will be episodes every other week. I'll be bringing families on, sharing stories, continuing what I always do, which is to help people. This week, I want to share a story about a case that I worked on and everything behind it. I don't know if I've shared this before, and I want to share this with you guys now. There's a case, and it's all filmed and documented, which is the best part. When I share this, I hope one day I can get, the rights to it because I don't own it and I can share it with you guys. I mean, it is awesome. So we were filming this and basically this is probably, I want to say a few years ago when people started to really know I worked on cases and all of that, I guess, good, fun stuff. So we were filming this for a potential project and the person who was running it, they were like, okay, we have this case and the sheriff's department wants you to work on this case, but we don't want to tell you anything. So we're going to give you a plane ticket and you're going to go and we're just going to record everything, blah, blah, blah. So I get on a plane and I find I'm going to Ohio. So we go there and I've never been to Ohio. So we're driving and going to different parts and stuff. My mom was with me because I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't want this to, I want her to kind of witness all of this. And I want her one day to talk about this too. Potentially if I do a book or something. So we go to Ohio and we go to this hotel and I meet up with the team and they're like, okay, tomorrow we're going to pick you up and we're going to bring you to a location and you're going to work on this case. And I'm like, great. So I think I was getting picked up and I'm using this random time. I'm not saying this is the exact time. So I think I'm getting picked up around, let's say 10 a.m., 10:30. All of a sudden I hear bang, bang, bang on the door. It's 9:30, maybe 9:45. So I was ready already just because I was very nervous because I want to help the family out. So I get in the car and they blindfold me and they're like, okay, this is, we're just going to go 15 minutes out. So we drive for 15 minutes, they take the blindfold off and we're in an industrial park, okay? And I'm like, what is going on? And in my head, I'm like, is this where I cease to exist? And I'm looking around all right, blindfold back on. And they bring me to a place that was maybe 4 minutes up the road, maybe less. And it's someone's home. Now, when I tell you that this home, it looked like a movie set in the sense of it was of a smaller home, very, separated, very country, but they took everything out. There was no pictures, there was nothing. So it was essentially a shell of a home. There was a couch. I think there was 2 couches and I go in and the woman is so nervous. And I am too, honestly. So I walk in, I introduce myself, I sit down and they go, okay, read her. What do you get? So the first thing I see, and I'll never forget it, they flashed someone who I knew and it was Bill. So this case is William Billy Brown from Lima, Ohio. And I pulled in such amazing information about this, about people that were there. Backstory of this case, just so you guys know, Billy was found at the top of his driveway, which I'll get to that like thing too in this, like that whole situation in a second. But basically they thought it was a hit and run. And as the sheriff's department who brought me in on this discovered that it was a homicide. So I bring up like a blunt trauma, similar to like a hit and run, but it wasn't an accident. So I bring up a couple names that are very important, which I can't say because this case is still active. I just want to share the story of this. We finished the reading. Everyone's in shock. I'm in shock just because of just like how they tried to throw me off. I felt confident and I felt happy because I felt like I gave not only her hope, but I gave the law enforcement new direction on what to look at and where to go. So they ask me, they go, where is he pulling you? So I go to the top of the driveway, and this is before they told me that he was found at the top of the driveway. And where I stopped is where the body was. Now, again, they took everything off. So it just looked like a mailbox and dirt. I guess what they had before was a memorial thing for him and flowers, but they took all that out because they didn't want it to essentially, I guess, give me like some type of clue that something happened there. So anyway, we're going, and she had 2 little dogs, okay? Now this is where I'm like, what? Like, this is a crazy trip. They had 2 little dogs and a little deck. So as we were filming that part, they put their dogs on the deck. Everyone's following me because I think everyone was so like locked in based on everything that happened. They're like, oh my God. The dog jumped through the deck and took its own life without knowing. Like, it was just running around and it jumped through and it was tied to a leash. So everyone freaked. I had prior training, obviously. So I went over, tried to give the dog mouth to mouth because everyone, I think, was in such shock. And the worst thing happened. The dog passed away. And I thought that the filming would be done, but the family was so locked in that they got new information that I don't think they paid attention. Not that they didn't pay attention to it. I don't think it hit them right away, if I'm being honest, which I get because they were so locked in about their son that just recently passed.
Where is Daredevil?
I'm right here. Don't miss the return of Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again.
So what's next?
I feel liberated.
We're gonna take this city back.
Over medicated.
In an all-new season, now streaming only on Disney+.
They're hunting us. It's time we started hunting them.
I can work with that.
This should be tons of fun.
Marvel Television's Daredevil Born Again, now streaming only on Disney+.
Fast forward, I speak to another person that's involved in the case, and they show me footage of the things that I said that is private. It kind of lines up with everything that I was saying. So they investigated, found some things that correlate to what I said, but now I'm hoping to do a round 2 with them. But because it was all wrapped up with a potential project, that I couldn't just do it by myself. Like everything had to go through certain people. And so I'm hoping that I can provide more information again for this family because I really like this family a lot. Just like I like all the families I work with. But this one, based on everything that happened, it was an interesting day. It was an interesting day just from start to finish with, trying to like trick me, to the dog situation, to finding new leads, showing me video evidence. Like, it was such a productive day. And then the next day I went home and I'm like sitting there and I'm just like, oh my God, this all happened in such like real time with everything that it was hard for me to like digest. And then obviously as time went on, I started working on other cases that are very similar in this sense of like bringing me to the state and then doing, trying to blindside me and stuff. Because when I do these cases, like I mentioned to you guys, I don't really want to know anything just because I want it to be as authentic with information and I don't want to bias. Like, I don't want to come into something being like, wow, this person, based on what people are saying, is the suspect. I want to go into it knowing nothing so I can get that information if it's shown to me. So I'll be back doing regular cases like I did the last episode, the episode before, but this is actually really cool, which I wanted to share with you too. So Kate Casey and I we talk about cases a lot, or we used to, and we'll talk about cases here and there. But now, since I'm working on a lot of cases, sometimes it's hard for me to always want to talk about cases because it's so heartbreaking. So there was a case that happened in 1945, very tragic, in Virginia, about a fire and kids being missing and things along the lines like that. What I find very amazing is the reach that we have that we don't sometimes realize. And the reach is that a descendant of the family member, I think like the great-granddaughter or someone it was a great-granddaughter, reaching out, asking for my help with the case based on what she heard from the podcast. So she's bringing me into this case now. And I'm thinking about potentially bringing her on the show and having Kate come on, because it's pretty much like a full circle moment that like Kate finds these cases. I'm not really like a true crime buff where I know about all these cases and stuff, but Kate will bring me these cases a lot. And my hopes, and sometimes it happens, but my hopes is that I get pulled onto it. It's happened a few times. I wouldn't say like every single time, but in this case, it's such a large case and I just want to get permission before I tell people about the case. So like I'm going to speak to the family member and the detective, but I'm hoping that we can bring them on and talk about this case. And I'm going to bring Kate on because Kate's the one who brought it to me like randomly when we were on her show. So stay tuned for that. And guys, please do not forget to rate and review the show. I'm like 25-star rate and reviews away from 500, and I will be giving away a reading. I do for every 100 reviews. Now, if you have any cases that you're affected by, or you just want to hear what I think, or like if I can tap in, please send an email to connectjonathanmark@gmail.com. And also do not forget to follow my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook over at Jonathan Mark Medium, and even my YouTube, because I'm going to be posting more on there, also more video element stuff. So stay tuned. I can't wait for all this amazing stuff coming up with Kate, with my own personal like projects, everything. So stay tuned, and I'll see you next week.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.